Yo, Shoutstar here. I already went ahead and read this one yesterday. I was busy, so I couldn't do a review or live reaction, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a review. Let's just go ahead and go through the pages. Start with the first page, was get to some key points. All right. Right off the bat, we start with I don't know if we were given his name at the beginning. I don't think we were. Remember, like at the beginning of the exam, that kid that was shaking everybody's hand and was being nice to everybody, except Bakugo, he wasn't buying his act because he said that his words didn't reach his eyes or something. Basically, we all knew that he was shady as fuck. Yeah, the chapter starts off with him. Yeah, the chapters all starts off with this guy. His name is Shindo Yu, and he's with two of his friends. One with sharp teeth, and another one that looks like an Aron. Yep. So basically, they're going over the plan, which was to attack Yue, weaken their position, and then scatter them. Right? His friend's comment there was, in fact, backfired on him, but he's saying that no, it's actually working to their advantage now because apparently, since everybody's going after Yue, that means that I guess his little group can go ahead and sneak behind and take out some of the guys who are attacking Yue. Not gonna lie, it's actually a decent plan. They're trying to get their provisions, hero provisions license. So I'm not even gonna say like, is it a bit what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, not the most honorable sort, but at the same time, plan's a plan. It's not like he's downright dirty. Everybody's focusing on Yue at the moment. He's taking the opportunity to go ahead and pass. So I'm actually cool with him doing this. The problem that I have with Shindo is this. I want you guys to take a good look at this because this is not the face of a superhero. So Bakugo was writing, calling it off to him, writing, knowing that what he was pulling on him was bullshit. And his one of his little friends, that chick, we aren't giving a name to her, but apparently she's got sharp teeth, so some type of quirk that has animosity, maybe. Anyway, she's even commented, "It's about time you drop that goody goody act. You're a sneaky one, aren't you?" And he takes that shit as a compliment. So, well, we know that Shindo likes to try to catch people off guard. And apparently, he's like a Saiji who thinks they're above everyone. So, where that's gonna go is who knows. Another set of rivals for Yue, apparently. Anyway, we cut over to the next room, and uh, Bakugo, Kiminari, and Kishima. The guy who can harden his skin. I can't say his name. Basically, those three have all passed. So they're heading in there. And they're meeting up with Deku, Uraraka, and Zero. Now, the only reason why I'm touching on this key point, this is a real key point because it's been a while since Deku and Bakugo have had any type of interactions. But on an interesting note, Bakugo asks, with that power of yours is to be expected, that borrowed power that you make it your own. And of course, Deku's really like, oh shit, did he figure out what's going on? My thoughts on that, Deku did kind of tell him that his quirk didn't originally belong to him. So, in Bakugo, I don't know if the two of them seem to maybe during that fight with All Might had with I think it was One for All. He was listening to a conversation and he finally got clues as to what was going on. Like, I don't think Bakugo actually has a problem with Deku. It's just that he wants Deku to make All Might's power completely his own, rather than it just being a borrowed power. So that's my thoughts on theirs. From there, we go on in the three groups like meet up with Momo's group and Todoroki, and they're all wondering about how everybody else is doing. Seems that Ida and I could never get his name right. Ida and the dude who could Oyama, Aoyama. I'm gonna say Aoyama for now. Uh, we go back to a little flashback where Aoyama and Ida met up with one another, and you can see that if you zoom in right here, you can see that Aoyama is kind of in an oppressed state when Ida meets up with him. On a side note, Aoyama's always struck me as one of the more interesting characters because, like, he generally wants to be a good guy. He wants to be a hero, but at the same time, he has a lot of cowardly tendencies. Remember back in the forest when everybody was fighting for their lives and the enemy were right next to him, and then he was like cowering in a bush while his two friends were down on the ground, like he was basically close to pissing himself. But at the same time, he still mustered up enough strength to attack the enemy to give the opening to the others. I think he's like a sort of like a flashier version of Usopp from One Piece. That's the way I see him. So anyway, after that, Aoyama and Ida, when they first met up, they have a little talk and they decide to go ahead and team up so that they can pass and hopefully support everyone else. From here, it looks like Sendo Yu and his two friends have also passed. Like you can see them going ahead and entering. So I doubt it was anybody from UA they took out. But with that, there are only 10 slots left, and Aoyama and Ida are currently doing their best since the schools are no longer just targeting him because there's only 10 slots left, rather than just targeting two random UA students. They're going for all out balls for the walls, trying to get that one of those slots. And we have a little flashback of Aoyama who's like thinking about the time where he asked his mom and papa how come he's different from everyone else. I don't know if it's like because of his quirk or because like he's less interesting to a lot of other people, mainly because he tries to stand out too much, and it people tend to lose interest in him because of that. Like I'm interested in him because of a couple other things. Like I seriously think like he's gonna probably play a major role in the future. That's what I think for Aoyama. But during the fire, he manages to get into a clearing and then he shoots his beam into the air. Yeah, he's just straight up shooting his beam in the air. The way he sees it, um, is he had already lost two of his targets. In other words, he's been tagged twice already, and and it's like baseball: three strikes and you're out. So realizing that he's just going to drag down Ida, who hasn't been tagged once, he decides to shoot his beam in the air so that everybody will come after him, and then Ida will get an opening he needs to start tagging people and possibly pass. So he's going for some self-sacrifice sort of bit, and he's hoping that Ida, or at least get his hero's provision license, and he can take pride in knowing that he helped Ida with that. Again, like I said, Aoyama is actually a pretty interesting character once you actually look deeper into him. Like he's got like his normal quirk, not his power, his actual like his personality quirk, which is he likes to stand out, he likes to be sparkly and all that. He's also a bit of a coward on the inside, but at the same time, he will stand up and help his friends if he has to. and realizing in the end, rather than fruitlessly trying to move on, he's actually trying to provide a little self-sacrifice in the end. So he admits that his dream is to be equal to everybody else. In other words, he seems to also realize that out of everybody in UA, he is the least combat oriented. Like everybody, if you think about it, almost everybody, the main cast of UA has stood up and exposed themselves to danger, and as a result, the world's taken notice of them. But he's more along the lines of the background characters, like that guy with the power to talk to animals and crap. And really, the same as that chick that can shoot. I think that chick that looks like a freaking alien. Yeah, like him and a few others are kind of just background characters that just pop up there. I think Siru's slowly moving up to more along the lines of rather than being a minor character to a supporter character because he was able to lend a hand to Yue. Izuku and Oraku, and he seems to be getting more screen time. Anyway, just as the guys rushing toward him, uh, the guy who with the ammo face I was just talking about, he summons a bunch of doves to help blind the battlefield. And from there, the kid with the shadow powers, he uses one of his attacks called Gloom of the Black Arms. So when the animal guy blinded them, he went ahead and used the shadow powers to help ensnare the animal. With that, like that's a pretty good combo technique. And from there, we got Mineta, who's going balls to the walls. He seems to be a bit more motivated to be a hero now because he's throwing away multiple of those sticky balls from his head, and he's literally bleeding all over the face. So Mineta's gotten quite a bit of character development in the series too. Like you can literally see the blood just flowing down his head. Ida's surprised because everybody's popping up. Oh yeah, that tail dude was there too, but he really didn't do much. And what's her name? The chick who's like consistently invisible. Apparently, I'm guessing her quirk is more than invisible. It's like light manipulation because she says contract reflection, which is basically blinding everybody. And she and the tail dude take the opportunity to go ahead and pass. So after that, Aoyama is like amazed at how everybody's doing, and you got the alien looking chick. She's thanking him for drawing everybody here. That way, they could go ahead and get the final points they need. Because to be honest, with everybody all spread out, chances are they weren't all going to pass. But since everybody came rushing toward him, they now got the chance to just all pass together. So it looks like she passed along with the Hawk dude and Mineta. Ida, he's trying to push Aoyama to give it his all and pass with him. And that's what happens. They all pass. Not exactly an epic scene, but I'll go ahead and take it. Aoyama's got a little bit of screen time and character development, so I'll go ahead and take that. So after that, the sleepy dude, he goes ahead and says 100 people have now passed, and those who have failed must now leave the premises. And it turns out everybody from UA passed. I don't know if that means just everybody from Class A passed, or if some other people from like Class B possibly passed too. Wait, Class B is like not actually a hero section, so I don't think they were involved anyway. Anyway, the guy with the wind powers, he's yelling because Shishi-kun failed. That dude who had the power to crumble people up in like giant clumps of meat. and someone named Yo Rashi also failed. Anyway, after that, we got that Shiketsu chick. We still don't know what her fucking name is. She's just looking around, looking like, all right, I guess we all passed. Seeing that she's there, I'm guessing she passed too. Okay, let's see, move. Okay, so now that everybody's passed, it looks like they're going straight into the second round, and it's also the last round because this is what happens. Remember that city that they were just battling in? It was massive and everything, and probably cost a few $1 billion to build. Yeah, it's been completely fucked over. Like no joke, that city is gone. Game over. And suddenly, the last chapter made much more sense because yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, the last chapter suddenly made more sense because remember at the last chapter we got this weird ass panel with a bunch of weird old fuckers? Yeah, turns out besides the little ball challenge to weed out the 100 best, the next challenge in the last stage at this disaster site, as they call it, the kids are going to be conducting rescues. And you see the old people and the little kids just standing up. So that makes a lot of sense because okay, you guys want to be heroes, you actually got to prove that you can do your job, which is you have to actually be able to rescue people. That's like one of the biggest purpose. That's possibly the most important purpose of being a hero. No, that is the most important purpose of being a hero. Yeah, you got to beat supervillains and all that, but it's no good if you actually can't save somebody who the supervillain is threatening. So yeah, and they even call this the origins of heroes. Yeah, so that's the end of the chapter. All right, like I said, a little bit of thoughts. We can see that Minata, he's gained a little bit more balls. Well, that's weird saying considering that his whole power is actually based on balls coming off his head, but he's gained a little bit more guts. That's I'll say that better. He's gained some more guts from when he was before, which is basically cowering, hiding behind everyone, and he's starting to stand out a little bit more. And Oyama, we got just a little bit deeper into his character. He wants to be seen as an equal to everybody, and I think that's got more to do with the fact that he recognizes that while Class A has been known for being able to take on villains, he himself hasn't actually done anything worth noticing. Like you got Izuku, Bakugo, Kirishima, Kiminari, Ida, Momo, Todoroki, uh, that do with the arms. Like you got basically all like his class itself is known for being able to take out superheroes. But if you actually look into it, there's a small portion of it that hasn't actually done anything worth noticing. He's part of that portion. And as a result, his dream, like as he said, is to sort of be on equal standings with everybody else, which is why he went ahead and was willing to sacrifice himself for Ida. So I think that's an interesting little character development for him. Just a smidge. I'm hoping he gets a little bit more screen time and he becomes like a little bit more active rather than just the comedy relief he's been playing up until now. I still get the feeling he's going to probably be one of the guys who doesn't get his license. If he does, he's probably going to be like a big flop of the hero, and that's probably going to develop his character. I believe that's like he's either not going to get his license or he's going to get his license, and he's not going to really do well actually out there being a hero at least in the beginning. All right, what else? Oh yeah, the whole mess of rescuing the young and old people. That makes more sense, and also judging from what it looks like, they're just like not the old people and kids are not gonna make it easy for them. Like they're gonna actively hinder them, and that makes sense because like rescuing people isn't all that easy, especially if you got villains around, which is like maybe they're gonna throw in like some armed robots and stuff, and they gotta rescue the kids while defending off of robots and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to the next chapter. Well, I guess that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Please leave some reviews at the bottoms, comments, whatever you want. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.